Welcome back, everyone, to another Rumble exclusive. And something just came to me out of nowhere. I was thinking about how people were talking about when the year turned exactly the same year and day in Back to the Future 2, and people started talking about it all over about how many things they got accurate, how many things they got wrong, and a lot of things they did get accurate about the movie. Except that in the time that we live in now, what I have noticed is that we are more closely moving towards the movie The Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes. It's kind of funny and sad and scary all at the same time because of the amount of things that I saw in the movie that we can relate to now in real life.
The world has become a pussy-whipped Brady Bunch version of itself, run by a bunch of robed sissies.
So we're going to start down this hefty list, starting with number one. Number one, their greeting is always "be well."
Be well.
Be fucked.
And that kind of clicked in my brain when I was in stores and all over the place, and you would buy something, well, whatever stores were open, and they would always say, "Be safe. Be safe, be safe, be safe." And I'm like, this sounds familiar. And then that's when I thought of the movie. I'm like, oh yeah, it's Demolition Man, because they keep saying "be well." So all of a sudden our greeting has changed to that. Now, the next thing that's attached kind of to that is that in the future, in the Demolition Man, no one touches anybody anymore because everyone is like a germophobic and they're afraid of germs. So they do this formal greeting where they like wave their hands in front of one another and they don't touch one another. And we're at that point now. No one touches anyone and no one does any real actual high fives or anything. And the thing I found weird about it is no one does a fist pump anymore, but what they do is the elbow bump. I don't get it. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. You're just going closer to the person. And what's the point of not touching backs of hands but touching elbows? Speaking of no touching, that brings me on to number 3. There's no sex in the future, apparently, and everybody uses these weird virtual reality devices. Well, we kind of have, we have that right now. We just don't connect to each other with it. It's worse than that even. It's just virtual reality you can put on the Oculus Rift, or you can put on the PlayStation virtual reality system and go on to porn. Porn sites have virtual reality videos on them specifically for those devices. So that's 100% accurate of the movie.
I was wondering if you would like to have sex.
Number 4, it's not a big one, but I noticed that when people take over these autonomous areas of the city or whatever, like Chad or whatever it was called, what they do, what the left does is they graffiti on everything. They spray paint everything and they call it art. And lots of it, from what I've looked at, I'd say about like 95 to 99% of it is not art. It's just ugly. It's just tags and it's just spray painted on everything. And they do that in the movie a lot. And there's actually anti-graffiti procedures that have been put on all the billboards and everything, or the signs and stuff of businesses that you can see in it, so that the extreme left can't spray paint everything. Oh, here's a small one, but a good one. Vertical screens. I never thought I'd see vertical screens. We always wanted to go horizontal, it seemed, because that's the way the movie theaters were. And it's been forever since I've seen a square actual screen, like a 4x9. So all of a sudden, I started seeing on the news and in airports and stuff on pillars, vertical screens going up and down. And they actually have that in Demo Man. That was the very first time I saw that. And that is a reality. So there's another great connection. Number 6, and I love this one. The cops can't touch you. The cops basically do nothing in the future. I think they bust people for breaking curfew, and that's another funny thing. There's curfew in the future, and we have that now in some places anyway. But when you see Wesley Snipes come out and just kick all their asses and they don't know what to do, is the same thing as like the defund the police movement that we have right now, or that all cops are bastards, blah, blah, blah. And they want to tone down the rhetoric. There was another movie that was like that too, when the extreme left started reprogramming RoboCop and RoboCop 2. Remember what happened with that one?
Bad language makes for bad dealings.
And along the same scenes of Demolition Man is my next point, that there are no guns in the future. The only place you can view a gun is a museum. And the very first thing that Sylvester Stallone said, John Spartan, he said, Simon Phoenix is going for a gun. He's not going to try to open up this huge crime syndicate, underground crime syndicate, and they were actually listening to their Google or their Alexa to give them the advice on that. He goes, no, it's real simple. He's just going to get a gun. And that's exactly what he did. And what could anybody do to stop him once he had some guns? Nothing. Not a damn thing. Spartan himself had to go and get some guns. So it just goes to show you that, again, the only thing that can stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. And this movie shows it perfectly. The video meetings, everybody's using Skype or some kind of virtual meeting in the boardroom. That's a small one, but it is there, and now everyone working at home and doing the exact same thing. That one has become a reality. The non-stop commercials that they listen to all the time. There's no music in the future, so all they listen to is commercials all the time. That's kind of the way it is now. I mean, you ever try to watch regular cable TV or turn on the radio? It's nothing but ads. Even YouTube, if you're not using any type of ad blocker or Brave browser like I'm using, just people are ad whores. Okay, so that's pretty much the way it's going. It's going less about the content. You're seeing less and less content and just more and more commercials and ads.
Hot dogs. I love hot dogs. The dogs kids love to buy.
The self-driving Tesla cars everywhere. And they're voice activated to boot. And then John Spartan's just like, well, it makes my point exactly. What if somebody gets into a little fender bender, your car gets banged up a little bit, and all of a sudden the program glitches out and you can't gain control of the car again? And he's like, emergency, go left, go right, brake now, you Mickey Mouse piece of shit. Taco Bell. All restaurants are Taco Bell. Now, we're not there yet, but she mentioned something about the franchise wars. They were the only one to survive it. And that's the closest thing that we have to right now, is what I can see, is because I notice that Taco Bell and KFC and McDonald's and all of the big retail restaurants are open, but all the small ones are closed. So, there you go. And the final one that we all love the best. The little machines everywhere that will ticket you for saying a bad word or saying what they deem to be hate speech. See, that's how anybody on the left can cancel you immediately. If you disagree with them, if they disagree with you, or if they just don't like you, they're going to say every single word out of your mouth is hate speech. They're going to say what I'm saying right now is hate speech. That's why I have to post this on Rumble and not on YouTube, because they'll just kick me off the platform. And John Spartan does what we all want to do with that PC culture, no freedom of speech bullshit.
Thanks a lot, you shit brain.
You are fine. For repeated violations of the...
So that's it. There's a huge list. There's numerous other things that are in the movie too. Like, I'm not even going to get into everybody's a vegan and that there's these Google machines all over the place that just give you information and give you ego boosts and weird stuff like that. There's lots more in the movie that you could pick from. Type it in the comments down below here on Rumble if you found something about the movie, or if you've seen it recently. It holds up okay. I mean, it's not a bad movie. It's an older movie, but still, I think when you watch it now, you are going to be a little bit more shocked, as I was, at how accurate it really is. And that's the problem, because if this keeps going this way, I'm having a real trouble myself adapting to this way of life. My generation, Generation X, wasn't brought up like this. We weren't brought up to be a sissy, to be a tattletale, to be a victim, and it seems as though those things now are being promoted more so than trying to basically be a better person. They want you to be a victim. They want you to be a tattletale. They want you to be a sissy. It's all celebrated. It's just weird. I just don't believe in any of it. I think it's gutless. I think it's cowardice. It's crap, and I won't play that game. I will not play the left's game. You cannot change me, okay? People are the way they are, and that's just the way it is. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and I'll see all of you next episode.
Now, I'll have carte blanche to create the perfect society. My society.
Look, you can't take away people's right to be assholes. That's who you remind me of. An evil Mr. Rogers. Will you please kill him? It's pissing me off.